You can interact with us at AMFA A at KBC Channel 1. And of course, seeing a question coming from Sean Chairman, saying what will it take to be part of the games? Sean, you will be answered because we have guests in studio who will be telling us more about our school games. A lot of interest coming from that. Let me take the opportunity to just let you know that Dan will be crisscrossing to the Nyayo National Stadium track field, where we want to know what's happening from that front. We have AK, that's Athletics Kenya meet happening, where Ferdinand Omanyala yesterday posted 9.86 seconds in 100 meters, the world lead time this year. Later on, he will be in action. Will he lower the 9.86 seconds? We will let you know when and as we get the results streaming in. Also at 3 p.m. at the Kenyan Premier League, so much happening. You have Bandari taking on Bidco, Homeboys taking on Vihiga Bullets, Mathare taking on Wazito, Talanta will be inviting Zoya. Kariobangi Sharks yesterday beat Sofapaka by 2-0. But the big one, many are looking forward. City Stars will be taking on Ulinzi at Annex. That match started off. We will let you know the results as at now, how it's going. Then the big one is Gor Mahia taking on Police at the Nyayo National Stadium. A lot of banter on social media around the same, but we'll be talking about that later on when and as we get the results. At this point, allow me to introduce the guests in studio this afternoon, because it is dedicated to secondary school ball games. We'll be talking about football, we'll be talking about handball as well. But starting off, we have a set of three in studio to just let us know how prepared they are, because the secondary school ball games are about to start off. We have the coaching clinic happening at the moment at Jamuhuri Secondary School, and after that it will be all systems go. Let me start with my immediate left. We have Eric Omondi. He's been here before. Eric, always looking forward to battling out and always looking forward to Julius Yego as the mentor. Eric with us from Babadogo Secondary School. Eric, masters in javelin. Eric, good afternoon and welcome to the studio.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to meet you once again.
Thank you very much, Eric, and welcome, to the studio. Next to Eric, we have Faith and Jerry from Brown Hill Secondary School. Brown Hill was second runners-up in volleyball edition, and of course, coming in to just let us know how prepared they are. And of course, Faith is here from Nairobi University, where they were in action. Faith, good afternoon and karibu sana.
Afternoon too. Thank you so much for welcoming me here in your studio. I'm so proud to be here, and we are so eager waiting for the ball games to start here.
Karibu sana. Last but not least, we have a soft-spoken, he's here in studio from, Highway Secondary School, masters in table tennis. We have Alex Oduor Owino also with us in studio. Alex, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Karibu sana to the studio as well.
Thank you.
First and foremost, lady and gentlemen, it is term one where, many always look forward to the term one games. Of course, we have term one, we have term two, but term one sets the pace and sets the tone for the year. You've been here before, Eric. How prepared are you this time round? Because it's just a matter of days.
I'm well set by now. I've prepared myself enough for the game, and I'm ready to do it once again.
You will be among the people to beat, but we will be talking about that later on. Let's talk to Faith. Faith, Brown Hill, Secondary School is a school that is coming up, pushing up to fight the other big names. Last edition, you lost to Soweto.
Yeah.
Soweto still the team to beat. Do you have what it takes to dethrone them and become the Nairobi region champions?
That is what we are looking to. We are too hard to fight those people, because last time we felt guilty of ourselves because we lost the game and we targeted to the nationals, And then this time round we are doing more practices in each and every way that we can do to make it to reach to the nationals. Yeah.
You've just come from the field, you know, to here. How has it been?
It was so nice, by the way. You know, we have got to the UN, and so when we are just praying with those people, they are bigger than us. So we are learning more tactics, we are getting more skills from them. At least you can get a challenge, yeah.
You know, as we look at, you know, the challenge, and I like the approach you're taking, you know, you're going to battle bigger teams, as Colin Powell would put it, you know, challenging professionals in their backyard. Let's come to Alex. Alex, you know, table tennis. Why table tennis and not javelin, not volleyball, not soccer, any other sports? Why table tennis?
You know, table tennis is a game which majority of Kenya is there. Majority of Kenyans, they don't know if table tennis exists in Kenya, so that's why I like table tennis.
And you know, table tennis is a game that you have to really concentrate in what you're doing. Eyes on the ball, just a small table, and you know, you must have your bat in the right position at all the time. How do you prepare for, you know, for any table tennis game? It's not one that, you know, you would have to go out there, do a lot of jogging, a lot of running, but mentally you have to be very, very prepared. How do you prepare?
We prepare ourselves we train to train. So we train in school with the help of our coach, Mrs. Mercy.
And as we look at, you know, the training, a bit of it, Eric, out there, you know, in javelin, a lot is needed. Who inspires you? Because Julius Yego is one man you always look out for. Or are you looking at bettering his performance in the future when you get to that point?
Yes, I'm looking forward to better his performance. I'm also inspired by a man called Johannes Vetter from Germany. He always motivates me a lot when I saw his videos in YouTube. Yeah.
And why javelin? Why not any other sport? You know, just like, what's his name? Alex has alluded to, it's a sport that not many venture in. That's why he went into table tennis. Why javelin? And not rugby or any other?
Me personally, I love javelin because I feel that javelin is I have passion in it first. Then second is a personal game. So when you went out there, you lose the game, you don't blame anyone. Like, for example, like in football, you can say so and so misled us and we lose. But in javelin, if you lose by yourself. And if you win, it's you and you alone.
Everything revolves around you, and that's a complete, you know, contrast to Faith and the team. Because Faith, for you, it's teamwork.
Yeah,
you know,
teamwork.
It's you know, you have somebody must receive. You have the setter, you have the attacker. How is it like when you train as a team? When maybe one or two are not pulling their weight, you must have somebody in the team who will inspire the rest and you know. Ensure that you remain afloat and get the maximum points and sets.
Yeah, the first thing is that we get the motivation from our coach. Our coach always makes us to get motivated and also to pull up our socks for us to fight better according to the weakness that you have. He tries that he makes sure that you are capable of doing what you are unable to do. And that is why our coach gives us more opportunities to go and train and also have friendly matches with the university teams, with the, as in these people who are older than us, and also they got the tactics. They are more able to play that game with all the tricks that they could, so for them to achieve what they want. So the first thing we get is the target that we want. And also we get inspired because it's so enjoyable. The game is so enjoyable, and so you have to make it. and you must decide by your own if you want it or you don't want it. You must, as in for yourself, you must decide it from inside your heart to do it.
Correct. What position do you play in the team?
The center too.
Center.
Yeah.
Before I go to Alex, still with you, Faith.
Yeah.
Currently, we have Kwandanze, the national champions. A formidable name when it comes to girls volleyball in the country. Preparing for the Africa Games in Morocco. Do you think if you and your teammates prepare well, you can dethrone Kwandanze and become the best? Those are just live pictures and, some of the diary pictures in the past of secondary school ball games that we're watching there. That's handball. Do you think Kwandanze are beatable?
Yeah, in fact, last year we had a friendly match. We went to their place in Machakos, went to Machakos College, and where we had to defeat with them. And so we had a friendly match of which we went with 2 sets, they went with 3 sets. So it's capable of defeating them, it's capable of defending them with each and every means. We can do it. If last year we did it, and then right now we pull up our socks and we push ourselves onto it, we can do it.
So you pushed Kwandanze to 5 sets?
Yeah. We had 2 sets.
They had 3.
They had 3. And so they defeated us with that 1 set.
But warning signs are there.
Yeah.
We are coming for you when that time comes. Anyway, a good point there, because Kwandanze are known to be, Kwandanze are known to be the best in the country. And if you can try your best and play against the best, then why not when time comes? Alex, table tennis, you've clearly called it out. Not a sport that many Kenyans, like or many Kenyans follow. It's a sport that really needs a lot of psychological and intense preparations.
Yes.
What are your goals, as you set off for the Term 1 games? What are you looking at as Alex, and maybe as a school, as Highway? Do you have set targets that you want to achieve?
Yes, the target is to beat St. Joseph in national games, because St. Joseph for many years, like 5 years, yes, they were the champion, but this time round, even them, they know that this time
Highway is coming.
Highway is coming, and we have a tough team.
Highway is already on the highway coming.
Yes, Highway.
That's a good one. So you want to ensure that their dominance is brought to a stop.
Yes.
It doesn't come easy. How are you preparing for the same?
As now, even last Saturday, yes, we have a match at Goan, and we invited Ugandan players together with St. Joseph and us, but we qualify in semi-finals. So there we beat St. Joseph 3-2 set scores in team event.
And as we look at that, let's come back to you, Eric. Now that the games are about to start, a lot of pressure will be on you, because many know that you are a force to reckon with within Nairobi region. How are you prepared to tackle the others who are already now focusing on beating you?
To me, as per now, I have been training hard than the last year. To me, I know now I'm good. I'm at a point that if we meet those people, guys from Uganda, Tanzania, we still defeat them.
And as we look at that, Eric, still with you, do you feel that there is pressure, on you and maybe other, javelin throwers in the country? There is pressure for you because field games is not something that Kenya has been known for. Kenya is predominantly known for track events, long distance, middle distance, but now we are seeing a lot in terms of short distance through Fedi, Omanyala, and the rest coming up very well. Do you feel that there is pressure on you and your fellow field event athletes, to deliver for Kenya in the future?
Yes, I think there is a pressure, and we as field event teams, we are doing much to ensure that we defend our championships out there wherever we go.
It can be done. It's all in the mind. Let me come to Faith. Faith, you know that the future of Kenya now lies in your hands in terms of volleyball and any other sport that we are talking about, be it javelin, be it table tennis. The future lies in your hands. Malkia Strikers, the cream de la cream of Kenyan volleyball, African queens to be, to be precise. Many argue that the performance has been coming down where North Africa, Egypt, Morocco have been getting the better, and Algeria getting the better of Kenya. When you go to West Africa, you have Senegal, you have Cameroon in Central Africa, who are really giving Kenya a run for their money. Do you feel that Malkia Strikers, with a very strong base from school games, can continue its dominance in Africa?
According to me, what I can say is that as for us, the secondarians, volleyballers, we also have the pride to want to be like the Malkia Strikers, to be involved and to get into these big clubs and also have a chance to play like them. And so we have to work hard so that even us, because these people will not live there, we have to replace them. And so we must do it, and also to be like them. We want to shine like them also, so as to get the chances to defend those bigger teams that are making them to lower their standards.
Well, as we look at, trying to bring up the standards and bringing up the sport, it is the future, that we are looking at now. Alex, it's now upon you and your fellow players to ensure that table tennis is a sport that Kenya can look forward to in the future. It starts now. What would your message be to maybe those running table tennis in the country in terms of popularizing the sport? Do we focus on secondary schools, or do we ensure we have many clubs where you, after leaving school, can join a club to make sure that your talent does not just disappear after school?
Yes, first, I would like to say that first they joined high school, which has table tennis, so that it can be easy for table tennis to get popular, so much populated in Kenya. So that's.
And as we look at that, let's start winding up this. We still have much more to talk about from a school's point of view. Devi Masiane, I hope I got it right. I'm enjoying the Game On show from Migori County. I love KBC Channel 1. Thank you very much, David, and many more who are tuned in and watching as well. We appreciate. Eric, as we start winding up this segment of the show, you are the future. We are now looking forward to your, to your team. That is Babadogo. There'll be so much that many will be expecting. What can you assure Kenyans now that you're preparing for Term 1? Remember, they say every mile starts with an inch. This could be the age of becoming the next Julius Yego in the country. What would your message be to Kenyans?
My message to Kenyans is that we are here for the future. We are the future generation that is, we are going to replace people like Julius Yego. And what I can tell Kenyans is that we are at a good place, and we are really pushing it up to make Kenyans proud and to up our flag, Kenya.
Kenya will grow up. Let me give Faith the last word in 30 seconds. Faith, what can you assure your fans? What can you assure your school now that Term 1 Games is just around the corner?
I can tell my people, my fellow players whom I do with them the activities, is that I want to assure all the Kenyans that this time round we are going to make it, and we must go to the nationals, because many people are looking unto us for us to fight this Soweto that have been a trouble to us. So the target that we have right now, and many people are looking onto it, that this time round we must defeat Soweto. We must beat it off.
You must beat Soweto. We'll be keeping tabs, we will be watching, and we will appraise Kenyans on how that goes if they beat Soweto. Remember, you're watching Game On KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner. We are ending the first segment with the interview with the three. That's Alex Oduor from Highway, Faith Njeri, Brown Hill, secondary in volleyball, then of course Eric Omondi, javelin from Babadog. We are going into a short commercial break. After that, we will wrap up our score. Then when we come back, we have another set of secondary school students with us to just let us know what makes them tick. Up next, short commercial break. That was just a closure of the score, and now we kick off with the school games, like mentioned earlier on. Term 1 games are normally a mixed of activities. We have athletics, we have basketball, we have hockey, not forgetting swimming and many other sports that normally come up in the Term 1 games. Currently, we have the school, school heads, not heads, but the coaches who handle these teams in the different sporting disciplines in a coaching clinic at Jamuhuri High School here in Nairobi. After that, the Nairobi region teams will be getting ready to kick off the games, and we're still privileged to have with us another set from Nairobi region that's still focusing on the school games to let us know how prepared they are. I'll start with my immediate left. We are talking, to Kiki Masika. Kiki is from Dagoretti Mixed School, and of course it would be interesting to know that Kiki specializes in football, and her positions are position 4 and 5, which means she is a defender. Beating her means you're only left with the keeper to beat. Kiki, good afternoon na karibu sana.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate being here.
Karibu sana. Then we go straight to, the other, set the other side where we have Kelvin Gitau from Highway, who also specializes in table tennis. Highway seems to be a team, focusing on table tennis. We have Kelvin here in studio with us, Kelvin Gitau. Kelvin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Karibu sana. Last but not least, we have Betty Chepkemboi. Betty will be telling us why not athletics or why volleyball, and she is also from Brown Hill Secondary School with us here in studio, and she alluded to me earlier on, even before we went on air, that Soweto is the team to beat, and this time round they are not leaving anything to chance in terms of ensuring that they dethrone them from the supremacy battles of Nairobi region volleyball teams. Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Karibu sana.
Thank you to be here.
Well, let's start with Kiki in a studio. Kiki, Dagoretti Mixed School. Kiki, why soccer, not any other sport?
Yeah. Soccer is my game of choice. Nimependa sana football. Nilicheza football tukiwa niko mdogo. So, and I love it with all my heart, and I want to do it like kama job yenye itafanya nipate mshahara ya kulisha familia yangu.
Good. Kiki, I will find out why defense, because they say in football ukipita 4 ama 5 stopper, then umebaki na goalkeeper na sasa tunahesabu tu pengine goli. We'll talk about that, but let's bring in Kelvin to the studio as well. Kelvin, nice to have you on set. Table tennis, it looks like it's a sport that Highway Secondary School is really focusing on. How is it?
Table tennis is a very nice game. Unlikely to other games, table tennis, you see, it's not most popular, but table tennis is a very nice game.
And as we look at table tennis and Highway Secondary School, it looks like the school is also focusing a lot to bring up young upcoming table tennis players.
Unlike the principal, our principal is very good because he nurtures our talents. So they tell that if you play co-curricular activities, it will be able to expand your mind at the academics. So that's why he nurtures table tennis.
Thank you very much for bringing that word co-curricular, because in the yesteryears it was extracurricular activities, but now it's no longer extra, but it is co-curricular. Thank you for bringing up that. Let's come to Betty. Betty Chepkemboi, first and foremost, why volleyball?
Volleyball is a very nice game. For me, I love volleyball in the long time ago. Nilicheza volleyball tangu class 5 up to now. So volleyball is a very nice game. We enjoy and we are playing. Yes.
Shifting gears and still in studio with Kelvin, Kelvin Gitau, Kiki Masika from Dagoretti Mixed Secondary School. Then we have Betty Chepkemboi. Kiki, back to you. Why defense, not midfield, not attack?
At first, I was playing in the midfield when I was in primary school from class 6, 7, and 8. When I joined secondary school, my coach told me that I want to put you in a position where you'll be comfortable, you'll play the way you want. So he chose for me that number, and he usually say that if you are a football player, you can't play one number. You have to be a multiple player.
You have to play many and you have to be a multiple player. Let's come to you, Kelvin. Kelvin, where do you see yourself as a professional table tennis player, or you just want to play in the local scene and that's it? Where do you see yourself, say, in the next 10 years to come from a table tennis point?
As in the next 10 years to come, I want to be an international player.
And as you look at, playing in the professional, professional table tennis scenes, Kenya will be relying a lot on you in terms of positioning the same. Let's come to Betty. Betty, volleyball is a sport that Kenya is popularly known for. We had, Faith earlier on who alluded to Kwandanze as a team that maybe you tested yourselves against last year, lost 3-2. This morning you were playing against, university teams. Is that part of the preparations in terms of you getting ready? And based on what you've seen, do you think you are prepared and ready for the games?
Yes, we are prepared and we are ready for the games, because for us, Brownie, we want to be the best players in Kenya for volleyball, and we want to win. We want to go to Brazil, anywhere that we are going. So, Kwandanze is our... Tulicheza na Kwandanze. Tumecheza na friends wa university, colleges, hata wa nje huko Brazil tumecheza nao. So sijui shida yetu ni nini, lakini this time round tunaenda tutawin, to represent Kenya.
We have different clubs, in the country that really get it right when it comes to nurturing volleyball talent. You have Kenya Pipeline, you have KCB, you have Kenya Prisons, you have DCI, Which club would you be looking forward to play?
KBC.
KCB?
Yeah.
That's a good one, because that's where our coach, Paul Bitok, is the director in terms of bringing up volleyball talent. Good dreams to have. Lupita Nyong'o says your dreams are valid, so you go for them. Let's come to Kiki once again. And Kiki, soccer is a game that is loved by many, followed by many, and we also have our very own Harambee Starlets. What's your dream as Kiki, and where do you want to end up? Play in the local, leagues with Makolandas or any other team, or your target is to play for the national team and eventually professional?
Yeah, last year I was in the under 20 national team they went to Uganda play for the qualifiers, and they beat, when we were in Kenya, they beat us 7. When we went to their home, they were away. When we went home to their place, we moved from 2-1, which it was our best achieve, because we have reduced the range of goals which they beat us when we were in Kenya. And I'm playing for the Kenya Premier League. I'm in Kangemi Ladies. As from now, I'm in Form 4. I'm trying to focus. I have exam ahead of me. So my dream team, I want to come and play for the Manchester Women Club. And I pray I will work hard until I reach to where I want to be.
Wishing you all the best. And the next question, even before I go to Kelvin, would be, how do you balance, studies and your talent, which is sports?
Balancing our studies, somehow it's very difficult. Sometimes, you see, as us footballers, you have to be focused in everything. The focus that you are putting in your studies, you have to put twice the focus in football. You know, football, you have to have strength, speed, energy. So that's why we usually train from 4 to 12, and the rest of the hours you are in class.
It's a very good balancing act there in terms of ensuring that nothing goes to chance, and you still have academics, and you also have your sport, which is football for that matter. Have a very good balancing act. Kelvin, we had Alex earlier on in the studio, who clearly called out some targets that you have as Highway School. You want to dethrone the 5-time champions. Is it achievable?
Yes, it's very achievable, because from right now we always train all the time, because we have a target to beat the Uganda players.
That's your target?
Yes. And
in the local scene?
In the local, there is one school that it's very hard, but in these games we'll be able to conquer. Then we will be in the indomitables.
Name the school. Don't be afraid.
St. Joseph.
St. Joseph. You want to go for them?
Yes.
St. Joseph, school, shots fired. They are coming for you. Highway is coming. Earlier on, your colleague Alex Oduor clearly said that Highway Secondary School are on the highway already coming for St. Joseph's. Let's wait and see, and wish you all the best as you keep the highway, going for them. Let's come to you, Betty Chepkemboi. We know very well that Soweto is your immediate, task that you want to dethrone within Nairobi. But remember, as you're focusing on Soweto, Soweto is also focusing on how to ensure that they are not beatable within. So as you train, they are also training. How prepared are you mentally that it's not going to be an easy battle? In the event that you don't beat them, will you despair? Will you say it's the end of the world? There has to be a lot of psychological preparation that if things don't go your way, it's not the end of life. So are you prepared psychologically? I'm not saying you will lose, but I'm just saying you need to be prepared, because they're also prepared.
Yes, we are prepared. In this year, we are going to beat Soweto. We are very prepared. This time, they will go like us last year.
Well, interesting there, because you firmly believe, which is always the key thing, believe in yourself that you can beat them. Let's start winding up this segment before we bring in the other guests with you. Kiki,
Yes.
time has come that now, defending the title, a lot is expected from you. You play in the Kenyan Premier League ladies side. You've also featured for the national under-20, gone out there for experience. Many are looking forward to you in terms of giving them guidance, in terms of the belief in you as a person? Does this put pressure on you because you are exposed in the Kenyan Premier League? You've been out there in the international scene. Now you have to bring it back to the school. Does it put pressure on you?
Yeah, it does. Because last year we went to East Africa. We were in Arusha. We were representing Kenya in the soccer. So it's putting more pressure because we don't want to lose that status. We want to keep it. We want to work hard. When we were in East Africa, we emerged at position 5, and that was very bad. But now we are trained, and we know it's not a hope. It's a target, and we know that we are going to make it.
So you believe you will make it?
Yeah, we believe we will make it.
Kelvin, as we start winding up this, what would you promise your school in terms of going out there to perform better? They are watching now.
I'm promising my school, but in the next games, we will be able to take the trophy at East Africa.
So you're going for the East African Games?
Yes.
Betty, what can you promise? Are you echoing, are you giving us the same sentiments by echoing what, Faith had said earlier on, that it is now or never?
Yes. We agree that one.
It is now or never?
Yes.
You're beating them?
Yes.
You're getting the trophy?
In East Africa.
You're not even talking Nairobi, you're looking at East Africa?
No, them.
It is
Nairobi
possible.
and East Africa.
Nairobi and East Africa.
Yes.
Which means after you've picked Nairobi, you're going for the national as well.
Yes, we are going.
So you're going for a treble.
Yes.
Nairobi, national, East Africa.
Yes.
It can't be done. It's all in the mind. I can see Kiki, smiling, which means maybe she agrees with it. Kiki, is it possible?
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible if you work hard, prepare yourself psychologically, mentally, and physically. Because playing, you have to use your body, strength, gas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you have to train hard, put your effort, and everything will go through.
It can be done, it's in the mind, and it's all in the focus. Thank you very much, Kiki Masika, Dagoretti Mixed Secondary School. A footballer in the soccer team plays in position 4 or 5, which means it's defense. Then you have Kelvin Gitai from Highway Secondary School, table tennis. Then we have Betty Chepkemboi, who's also been with us here from Brownhill, focusing on volleyball. And the message is out there. We are going for a treble, Nairobi, nationals, and eventually we'll go for the East African Games. It can be done, ladies and gentlemen. It can be done. It's been done before with some of the schools here. We appreciate you making time to be with us. We wish you all the best, and we'll be letting Kenyans know how you're progressing from day one when you officially start off with the zonals, going all the way, because they say every mile starts with an inch. The inch will be the zonal games. How will it fare? We'll wait to see, but we will inform Kenyans. Well, we shift gears now and go into the S segment. Then when we come back, we'll have another set of, students with us here to tell us how prepared they are for the school games from different sporting disciplines, as we also keep an eye on what's happening in the local scene and even in the international scene. We'll be giving you updates when we come back. Up next is the S, and this time round we are featuring Eunice Ouma, a former basketball coach. Enjoy. When we come back, we'll shift into something else. Eunice Ouma, former basketball coach, featured in the A segment. Now we go into, still matters as secondary school ball games, but this time round we have two ladies on set. Then, of course, we have the Secretary General, Nairobi Region Secondary School Sports Association, Mr. Moses Mbuthia, also with us. But let me introduce the ladies first. To my immediate left, we have Becca Orute from Dagoretti Secondary Schools, also a player in the midfield, plays in position number 8. She says, kazi yangu ni kuwa feed to, as in just feeding them with passes. Becca, karibu sana to the studio.
Well,
Thank you. Then, of course, in the middle, we have Nairobi Secondary School Sports, Nairobi Region Secondary School Sports Association Secretary General Moses Mbudia with us, a man who wears so many hats, but this time round we want to focus only on Nairobi Region Sports, Secondary School Sports Association matters. Mr. Mbudia, karibu sana.
Thank you. Just one and a half week old as a Secretary General, and I want to thank Nairobians for that position that they've given me, but we shall discuss more.
Talk about that.
Yes,
and
yes,
well
yes.
done for the beach volleyball in Mombasa.
Asante
it was
sana.
well done.
Thank
Last
you.
but not least, we have Gaudensia Lumbasi also with us from Dagoretti Secondary School, but not football, but handball, actually champion with us in studio. Gaudensia, karibu sana and welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Karibuni sana and congratulations, you know, belated though, but congratulations. Let's start with you, Becca. Kazi yako ni kuwa feed to position number 8. Why football?
Because I need that football is my career. Yeah, I can play football than other games.
Wow, but football is the choice.
Yeah, it is my choice.
It is the way to go for you, and wishing you all the best. Before I go to Moses, let me quickly move to Gaudensia, Lumbasi. Handball is a game that is slowly picking up. We've seen a lot of vibrancy in the teams that play handball. We have Umeme, we have Nairobi Water, very formidable teams, which means it's coming from school level. How is it like for you being a champion from a handball point, looking at some of the highlights in handball there?
I chose handball because it's the fastest game in the world. It's the second fastest game in the world. And I like it just the way I wanted to play, like the best player in Kenya called Chilo. And yeah, it's the best game I've ever liked.
So you enjoy handball?
Yeah.
You know, just looking at handball there, many really enjoy, and this was at the school level. And clearly, if we continue like this, do you believe that Kenya has a future in handball?
Yeah, I believe that Kenya has a future in handball because most of them play in the other countries, and we also wanted to play in other countries to represent Kenya. Yeah.
Wow. Well, it can happen. Let me now look in Moses Mbudia as Secretary General, Nairobi Region Secondary Schools. First and foremost, Mbudia, congratulations. A few days old into the position, but we're already seeing things happening. As you speak, you have, coaches or school, teachers who handle these different games already in a coaching clinic at Jamhuri.
You said it, and I'll start with Madam Eunice, the one who was on TV basketball. That's our young one. We did nurture her in Kamukunji Secondary School, played at the top level, both basketball and netball. So I'm always very proud when I come here and see some of our girls, the way they have grown. Now, to answer your question directly, we are into action now. About 250 teachers are right now in Jamhuri Secondary School in all disciplines. And we had the director of education, the one in charge who actually came and opened the clinic. And we also expect our director, the patron of all sports in this country, also to come and close the clinic tomorrow. That is Mr. Ndware. And Mr. Ndware was very excited to hear of teachers assembling in one school matters training. And as I've said, the answer is true. Your answer, to answer you, the teachers are already in the factory, so that at least we can start preparing these young ones. And the pistons will be ready to move the engine. Wow. Nairobi. Don't forget that we took the largest number, the contingent to East Africa. These young girls were there. Kazi yao ilikuwa ni kuwafidi tu wengine.
As he rightly puts it. Before you engage the girls again, Moses,
yes.
You know, somebody might take it lightly that teachers are actually going through some training now. This clearly means that you want to focus on the talent, because when they get enough training and proper training, then it gets to the girls, it gets to the boys.
Very
that
true.
means the talent will be brought up well, and the level and standard of competition will be up there.
What you said is true, because for a long time, Nairobi had not been having young teachers. And after a duration of about 7-8 years now, we have young teachers now who have come and taken the position of games teachers or games masters. There are quite a number of them who are aged between 22, 24, up to 28. And our main task here is to hand over the mantle to them, so that at least they can be able to know what we do. So what we are doing is a simple transition, and I can tell you they are so excited. If you look at the number of young ones who are in various disciplines, like handball, we had 35 teachers. Volleyball, we had 25. Athletics, we had about 50 teachers, all coming to study, and they are very eager to go. They are saying they would rather have their first passport, matters sports, than education, because I have had them talk. And we also have the top level coaches doing that coaching. We have the likes of Wakigori, the international beaters. Remember, he was also coaching the First Lady. We have Patrick Owino touching not just volleyball, conventional volleyball, but also a bit of beach volleyball. So we had to look at somebody who is all round, the former captain of the national team. We have the likes of Wambua, the director from Jogo, him doing the work in matters athletics. We have the top coach, referee, Jojo Dego, hardball. We have Madam Anupi, Lillian, touching on netball. I can talk about that until the cows come home. So we have the top, there are what? You say what?
Cream de la cream.
Well, what you have said is true.
Of the best.
Yes.
Let's come to Becca. Becca, in football, you know you're out there, you're feeding them, and as you feed them, you know that Kiki is taking care of matters defense. How is it that, now you want to prepare to ensure that you don't just be a Nairobi affair, but you end up in, the East Africa Secondary School ball games, and not just participate, but also end up winners, because it is a title that has eluded Kenya for long?
First, I want to take this team up to East Africa. We are already training, and I thank God for this day, and I'm sure we will continue, and I really appreciate, and we will went to East Africa.
You're sure you're going back to East Africa?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wow. The keyword there is belief. Gaudensia, the champions, handball. You're now focusing on starting off, you want to start off with this step that will get you to East Africa and maybe become the champions. How are the the preparations? How has the training been? Are you satisfied that you have what it takes to go all the way?
First thing, my coach always tells me that no gain, no pain. You have to train hard for us to go to East Africa, because Nairobi, we are the best players. Now we are going to train for East Africa, and I'm in Form 4. I'm not going to move to that school until I take my team to East Africa.
You have put it so well, very clear, targets, and you want to go. I'm impressed that at this level, in schools, they're just talking of no pain, no gain. But there is another level when you move a notch higher, it will be more pain, more gain. But we will get there. You're still at your age. It's understandable to tackle it that way.
In the house.
Exactly. Exactly. Becca, before I go back to Moses, football is a game that is loved within the region. We have our schools within that are famously known for football. I don't want to talk about the Olympics. You know the history. I don't want to talk about what Mr. Okumu Morris has done in terms of bringing up sports in the different, schools that is handled. Clearly following footsteps of, from Mr. Peter Orero. But let's now focus on you as the Goreti. How is the training? Take us through your training schedule, because school and books must also be taken into consideration.
Yeah. First, for now, we are training, and we are making sure that we will defeat those teams like Vieta, Muira, and not even football only, but even in academics. Yes.
Very well put there. I can see Mr. Kumu's hand, you know, somewhere in terms of not just focusing on the games, but on academics as well. Gaudencia, training is critical in everything that you do, but balancing it with books is also critical. For the sake of that young player watching you now, maybe in primary school, what advice would you give them in terms of balancing your education and also balancing you know, to develop your talent as a player? What message would you have for that small girl looking at you now?
I will tell him or her that you have to balance between sports and academics. In our school, we have time for studying and time for training. We just go for training for, let's say, 2 hours or 3 or so forth, and the other time is for the studies.
Thank you very much. I mean, time is not on my side, Moses, but allow me to, you know, indulge you in this. We've just had the Kenya Secondary Schools elections, you know, being done.
Yes.
How are the results? Who is at the
helm? Well, at the helm we have Mr. Kipchumba Mayo, the chief principal of Kapsabet Boys. Don't forget that they do very well in studies and also in sports, and that's why they have that CEO by the name Mr. Kipchumba Mayo. We also have one of our own, Mr. Morris Ukumu now, is the deputy president. I don't want to call him Rigiji. It's not me. I'm not there yet.
Yes.
And we also have Mr. David Gugi, who is also the Secretary General East Africa. And not too forgetting Mr. Konyo Karaoke, the money man. So these are the team that we have at the helm, and they are very ready to go. They met yesterday for the first time, and the returning officer was none other than Mr. Duare, our director and patron of sport in this country. And as we are talking right now, Mr. Duare was in the morning taking off, seeing off the team, Kwadhanse and Cheptil. And right now they are in Istanbul, waiting for the road towards Rabat. They left a bit early, and that's why they're in Istanbul. And I'm happy too that we were able to give them gifts to go and give their counterparts.
And as they do that,
yes.
you know, looking at Mr. Mayo, Mr. Okumu, Mr. Ngugi, Mr. Gikonyo Karaoke, I'm not seeing a Mrs. or Miss.
There is. Madam Zura is the new chair of Coast Region, and she's there as a member. We have Jacinta. We have Madam Virginia from Central Province. It's only that the list is a bit longer. And
no, that's fine. You've answered. At least gender is taken care of.
Yes.
Moses, we don't have time.
Yes.
We have to start wrapping up this. As the Secretary General, Nairobi Region Sports, Secondary School Sports Association.
Yes.
What would your parting shot be in terms of preparing these young ones, and how ready is Nairobi region to kick off their Term 1 games?
You realize that the weather has changed a bit too hot, and I want to thank Coca-Cola, because whenever we have our activities down in the field, they normally come in and give us water. Kenya, the deep heat mentorated, because whenever they have some injuries, we get this assistance from deep heat and the company called Roto Mentorator. So we're saying in a nutshell that apart from the ministry's voterhead, we also have got other stakeholders who are coming in on board, and they're really assisting us. And to crown it all, I want to thank you also, because we managed to talk to the director, and he said we can have now beach volleyball in the curricula. And that's a matter of time. We shall do our presentation on Tuesday, and God willing, we shall have that game that you also like, beach volleyball. I know you have soccer in number 1.
Thank
and
you.
As Candencia says that hardball is the second, the fastest game in the world.
Yes.
I've also learned anyway. We are also in a classroom.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Moses Mbudia, for that update, and can't wait for beach volleyball. Thank you very much, Gaudencia Lumbasi in handball, and of course Becca Orute Dagoretti Secondary School, team. That's from the soccer and handball teams and all the others who were with us earlier on. It's at this point that we appreciate all who've been able to, be part of this, and also appreciate all those who've made this a success this afternoon. We want to appreciate, we'll keep letting you know results and as they come in terms of letting you know what's happening from a sporting point of view. At this point, we want to say thank you very much for having kept us company. On behalf of the producer, the director, the transmission controller, not forgetting the cameramen, the camera ladies, the sound technicians, we want to say thank you very, very much. And of course, on behalf of Moses, Becca, and Gaudensia and the rest of the team, we want to say thank you very much. As I always say, kuonana kesho ni majali yake Mwenyezi Mungu. Bye for now and keep it KBC Channel 1.